With a focus on women's health, NutriChem has been a cornerstone in the community, empowering women to feel confident with their bodies for 45 years. Joining us today to highlight their menopause clinic is CEO Aimee-Paule Meloud. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, tell us a little bit about NutriChem and what it's all about.
Yeah, so we've been around 45 years. We're an integrative health hub, and we combine pharmacy and an integrative clinic of naturopathic doctors. So it's really unique because you kind of get both sides of medicine, you know, the traditional and then more of the natural as well.
And what's it like for you to be a female CEO?
So I'm actually a clinician as well. So I'm a naturopathic doctor 10 years, and stepping into the role of CEO, really one of the biggest things has been being intentional around my time. I have 2 young kids at home, so trying to balance it all is exciting, but it's a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to break down some topics we're talking about today, and we're going to start off talking about perimenopause. So can you kind of explain what perimenopause actually is?
Yeah, so menopause, sometimes we think about it as a date in time, but it really is a hormonal transition that every single woman goes through. And perimenopause signals the beginning of that transition when you start to see shifts in things like mostly the actual period and the menstrual cycle first.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of the symptoms start. You know, you can start to see exacerbations of PMS symptoms, rarely hot flashes, sleep disturbances are a big one, mood changes.
Okay.
So that signals that there might be some shifts starting to happen in the ovulation cycle and regularity.
And typically what ages does this happen?
Well, it can start anywhere, you know, mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s is when it starts to kind of ramp up a little bit. So your body and your brain and your ovaries are all connected. So your brain is always going to try to get ovulation to continue to occur. And so perimenopause is when the ovaries are becoming a little bit less responsive to those brain signals. So your body has to work a lot harder to get that same cycle to occur.
Okay, very interesting. Let's talk then about the big one, menopause. What's this all about?
So menopause is when that signal starts to actually, what we say, fail. So in perimenopause, there's very early stages where we see very small changes in the cycle. It starts to ramp up a little bit in what we say is late perimenopause, where a woman is maybe missing a cycle. Once the period actually stops, that's what we consider menopause, that there's no more ovulation happening anymore. And so that late perimenopause, menopause transition is often when we see a lot more of the traditional symptoms, like the hot flashes really start. But a lot of the other symptoms, like cardiovascular wise, we can start to see a lot of weight shifts, you know, more weight around the middle, a lot of the brain fog, achiness, stiffness, the skin changes can start to change as well. And that's related to the loss of estrogen.
Okay, very interesting. Let's talk about some of the common symptoms, which you kind of touched on as well.
Yeah, so a lot of the symptoms are related to the shifts that are happening during the different stages. So in perimenopause, where you have these big swings of hormones because your brain is trying to get your ovaries to release follicle, you can get a lot of mood swings, the big drops, so massive PMS symptoms. And then as you transition more into later perimenopause and menopause, again, like I said, related to the loss of estrogen, you can have more of the hot flashes, night sweats. Sleep disturbances are a huge one, and anxiety, heart palpitations, mood shifts. These are less talked about, but they're very, very common.
All right, and our last topic of the morning, we're going to talk about some support and some help that you can have for women.
Yeah, so it's all about kind of connecting to your body and understanding what stage you're actually in. So a lot of women are like, am I too early? Is this too late? You know, there's so much information around hormones now and menopause that a lot of women aren't sure what to do and how to actually understand where they need support. And different support works for different stages. So naturopathic doctors are very well positioned to have really nice long conversations with people. We sit with people for an hour and really understand all of their symptoms, because that can have an impact on your menopause experience as well. So naturopathic doctors, pharmacy, so NutriChem is a really cool space to come in and get support whatever stage you're at.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and celebrating 45 years this year. How can people get a hold of you?
You can visit our website, NutriChem.com. You can send an email, info@NutriChem.com. We're on Instagram, NutriChem Ottawa. So any way you want to reach out. And we also are located right on Carling. So we have a physical space you can walk into and come experience NutriChem.
Amazing. Thank you again for joining us today.